Hello, it's the end of March and the weather has started to warm up. So what I am going to sow now is some okra, which are these. Sometimes people call them ladies' fingers, and I'm sure they have other names as well. Some, gombo, which I can't even pronounce some of these on the back here, but I have sown these before. They are quite sensitive to the heat. I have only once been completely successful, but I keep persevering, and I am just, one year I'm going to have loads of them and they're going to do absolutely fabulously, and this is the year. I am going to be positive. Now you can sow these from March through to August, it says here. And then you start, obviously if you sow them in March, then apparently you should start harvesting them in the middle of May. Usually takes a bit longer than that, but anyway, I think these actually came from Spain, so that's most probably why they say they're quite quick. So I would sow them March, April time, as long as it's nice and warm where you are, and then hopefully in the summer then you will be harvesting them. If it gets to May, I would say yes, maybe you can sow some in May, but I wouldn't sow any later than May. So let me show you how I'm going to sow mine. So I'm going to sow them in a little square pot. So I'm just going to fill this pot up with some multi-purpose compost. Gently pat it down like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sow 4 seeds, 1 in each corner. Now if you're doing this in a round pot, then do north, south, west and east. Now these are the little seeds. They're round and they're green and they're quite rough actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one, before you push them down, just rest them on top of the soil like that, just in case you get distracted, because if you've pushed one down and you then get distracted, you might come back and then forget where you've actually pushed it down. So I've got 4 in there, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my finger on the seed and I'm just going to push it down to about this first little knuckle here, which is just above my finger, just to like that, which is about 1/2 an inch or so, 3/4 of an inch. Just push them down like that. So I've got a nice 4 little holes there. All I'm going to do is get a little bit more compost and just fill up those holes like that. Gently pat it down, and that's 1 done. I think I will most probably do about 5. The germination rate should be fairly good, but these are quite old seeds. I should have used these by 2015. Sometimes seeds will last quite well past their expiry date, and other times they won't. Now if I do end up with like 15 or 20 plants, I do have enough space in the greenhouses to put them, so that's not going to be a problem. So I will do some more of these, and when I have finished then I will show you. Well, here they are. I've done 5 little pots and I've put 4 seeds in each. Now all I need to do now is to give them a nice water. I'll water them with water straight from the tap to start with, but once they start to germinate then I can water them with water from the butt. Hopefully in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm hoping, they'll start to pop through the soil and they'll start to emerge. They are very delicate and very sensitive, so make sure that if it is still cold where you are, that you don't sow them quite yet until it's warmed up. If the nighttime temperature is going to get cold, then I would suggest putting a propagator lid over the top of them. But once they've taken off and they're going and they're in their bigger pots, then they're usually quite good, but they do prefer as much heat as you can give them. In the UK, they will have to spend their entire life in the greenhouse, but if you live in a much warmer climate, in some areas in the US, and maybe if you live from sort of North Spain downwards, you can grow them outside, but you know your climate better than I do. So anyway, I will keep you updated on their progress, and hopefully this will be, fingers crossed, the most successful year I've had with them. I didn't grow any last year because by the time I'd got the greenhouses up, it was actually too late to sow them anyway. So yes, I've had a year off, but one year I had a few, but I couldn't give them as much attention as I wanted to, but now hopefully I can. Well, I'll keep you updated on their progress, and I hope you do try and give them a go, and let's see how many okra you manage to harvest. The flowers, when they come out, just to warn you, are immense. They're beautiful, they're yellow, and they're just so colourful and pretty. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.